Hello, welcome once again. Yeah, in this tutorial, we'll be doing something really fascinating. So I'll be explaining more about the shape builder tool in this tutorial. So we'll be doing some kind of advanced thing in this tutorial. So without further ado, let's get into business. So the first thing I'll be doing now is to create a document. By coming over here, I'll click on create new. Okay, so now having clicked on that, you can see here it takes us to where we can actually create our document, set our document size and the likes. So I'll come over here, I'll click on print. Okay, so after clicking on print, I'll go with the US letter over here. Then I'll change this into the orientation into landscape, right? So having done that, now come here, I'll change the color mode into RGB. Okay, I'll click on create. Okay, so you can see what we have. So now having done this, the next thing to do now is I'll go over to file. Just watch me carefully. File. Then I'll come over to place. So this place now just is it means import. That is, if you want to import something into Adobe Illustrator, you just come over to place, right? Just click on that. So after clicking on that, look at this image here. I say Pegun, just click on it. After clicking on it, don't click on place here too. Make sure you click on template. Make sure this template is marked, and I'll tell you what it does later. Make sure it's marked. Click on template, and I'll click on place. Okay. Actually, before I proceed, I actually got this image from Evanto Thought Plus. I got this, so I found it very useful. So I decided to make use of it, to use it as an example. You get. So now the next thing now to do after clicking on this, let me go over to the essentials here and come to essential classic. The reason why is because now I want to show you something. Earlier I told you to click on the template, and the reason is that after if you click on template before importing it, this image here, what you imported cannot be moved. As you can see, it's cannot actually. Want to draw this image here, want to draw it with what? Want to draw it here, that is want to draw this image here with Adobe Illustrator. This is what Adobe Illustrator does best. You can draw something, illustration, logo and the likes. You get. So now I didn't click on the templates. This image here will be moved. I'll be able to move this image. So I'll show you what I'm talking about now. Let me come back to the essential here. Let me change it to essentials. So after changing to essential, as you can see, we have the layer panel here. Initially we didn't have the layer panel, but now we have the layer. I'll click on it now. So once I click on it, this is the template layer over here. So what I'll do now is that I'm going to kind of click on it. Now once I click on it, once I click on this lock icon here, that means I've unlocked it. Now I can now easily move the template. You make sure you're on the selection tool here. So now I can now easily move the template around. As you can see, I can now move it. Okay, so let me go back and lock it. So now I can move it, as you can see. Okay, so okay, now if you want to, you can see now it cannot be moved. So now we'll be explaining more about, we'll be going to details about the shape builder tool. Let me go back again and change this into essential. The reason why I'm changing to essential classic is because we're going to have more tools to work on. I'll be making use of some other tools that are not here under the essentials. That's why I'm changing to essential classic. You get. So now I have essential classic now. As you can see, more tools have now appeared. Okay, so now the first thing we'll be working with is just watch me carefully, because you'll be learning a lot of things in this tutorial, in this particular video. So I want you to pay maximum attention. Okay, so now the first thing to do now is to come over to I want to draw this shape here. I want to draw this this guy here. I want to draw this guy. Okay, so I'll come over to the rectangle tool here. Click on the rectangle tool. Now we're on the rectangle tool, right? So now I'm on the rectangle tool. So what I will do next is that I'm just going to left click and drag. The reason why that is showing is because, let me go back to the essentials, to the classic essentials. Let me make sure you're on the layer. It's because I was on the template. That's why it's bringing out pencil. When I was in it, you can see. So you're supposed to, let me now change to what, let me go back to the layer now. Make sure you're on the layer. Okay, if I should click on this now, you can see it's not giving us the proper sign. So now let me go back to the, make sure let me go back to the classic. Okay, so now I'm on the rectangle 2 now. So what I'll do next is that let me just try to zoom in a little bit. Control, you hold your control key and you click on your plus, the plus on your keyboard to zoom in a little bit. Okay, so you can have a proper view. Okay, now after clicking on the rectangle 2, let me just come over here. You can see now, let me left click and what, bring in my rectangle 2 like so. Okay, so you can see what we have. So that's a color. That means let's come here and change it and make and cancel the color. Click on the color box and come over here that says cancel none. You can see, click on it. Okay, so I'll be giving it a stroke. I'll be giving it a stroke. This is a stroke here. Click on the box here. I want to give it a black stroke. Then I'll come over here. I'm going to give it, I'll leave it at 1 now. Let me leave it at 1. Okay, so I'll come here now. Let me just left click and drag this so that it's, you can see it now aligns with this. Let me come over here, come over here. You can see the arrow, left click and we'll drag here now. Okay, let me go back to the selection 2. Okay, now you notice that this place is somehow curved. You can see, so I want to make this curve. So how do I do that? It's very, very simple. Now if I should come over here, if I should left click now and left click now and drag this, only this, you can, if I left click and drag this now, look at what will happen. Only this side will be curved. You get? Okay, so now, and I want to make these 2 parts of the curve. If I should click on this now, for example, to make these 2 parts, to make the 2 parts curve at a time, after clicking on this first, then come over here, hold your shift key. While holding your shift key, click on this part as well. So get, after doing that now let's left click and drag. You can see now. Let me just try to move this down a little bit so that it aligns properly. As you can see, let me come down here, left click and drag this up. So as you can see now, we have now. Okay, so what if I want to make the 4 parts curve at a time? Let me just go back. Okay, to do that, you click on this first, hold your shift key now, click on this. While holding your shift key, click on this. While holding your shift key, click on this. Then come and left click and drag. You can see it's as simple as that. Let's go back. Okay, if I want to make 3 parts to curve, click on one, hold your shift key, click on next, hold your shift key, click on this, and left click and drag. You can see it's as simple as that. So now let's just click on this, hold your shift key, click on this, and let's drag this in. Okay, let's try to move this down like so. Okay, then come here, drag this up. You can see it's as simple as that. Okay, now having done that, you can see what we have now. So far, this is what we have so far. We are getting there. We are doing something, right? Okay, the next thing now is that I want to draw this here, this circle. To do that is very, very simple. Come back to the shape tool, to the rectangle tool rather, right click on it and click on the ellipse tool. Click on the ellipse tool. Okay, then let's draw our circle. But to draw a proper circle, if I should come here and draw my circle now, you see, it's somehow distorted, right? So to have a proper circle, how do you go about that? You hold your shift key. After clicking on the ellipse tool, hold your shift key, click and drag. You can see we have a proper circle now, right? Okay, having done that now, let me just go back to the selection tool. The shortcut to that is V. When you click on V, it takes you directly to the selection tool, which is this black arrow. Then come over here and left click and move it down to this side. Okay, as you can see, the circle is bigger than what you want it for. So hold your shift key, just bring your cursor here. While holding your shift key, then click and drag in. Okay, I think this is nice now. Let's see. It's okay, this is good. Okay, select it. Let me move it up a little bit. Okay, so you can see what we have. So now having done that, the next thing to do now is that we want to add these eyes here. You can see to do that is very simple as well. You can just come here, come to this one that says line segment 2, click on it, right click on it and click on the arc 2. Click on the arc 2. Did you get that? Come over here, click on it right click and click on the arc. You can see this, the line segment 2 is somehow straight, the arc 2 is somehow curved, right? So I want it to be curved like so. So come over here and what, left click and just draw it like so. You can see, just draw it. Okay, so now go back to the move tool, to the selection tool rather, so we can actually move this part here. You can see. Then let's try to bend it. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, okay, as you can see what we have now. You can see what we have, right? So we are getting there. The next thing I want to do now is this here. Let's try to make something from this. So how do you do that? Let's go back to this rectangle tool now, to this tool, left click, right click on it and click on the rectangle tool. Now come over here. While left clicking on this, I'm just gonna draw my rectangle like so. Okay, now you can see. Let me just try to adjust this part a little bit. Okay, adjust this part a little bit. Okay, okay, so now I want to make this side to be curved, just only this side. So how do I do it? Let me go back to this selection tool. Let me show you what we have first. You can see what we have now. So I want only this side to curve. So I'll select this now. Then I'll just select this once. Hold my left click and drag it in like so. So you can see what we have. You can see what we have, right? Okay, you can just bring this a little bit up. Okay, it's cool like so. Now having done that, the next thing is to what? Let's quickly work on these signs here, these ones, right? Okay, to do that I can just come back to the rectangle tool, right click on it, and I'll click on this one that says polygon tool. Click on it. So now after clicking on the polygon tool, if I should draw it now, it's going to give me a polygon sign, right? You can see. Okay, you can see, but I don't want this particular shape here. Let me just go back to this side, left click on it. While on the polygon tool, while you're on the polygon tool, double click on it, like double click on it. Now you can select the number of sides that we want. That's the polygon has what, 6 sides, right? Delete it and click on 3. I want a triangle. Click on that. Okay, now I have a triangle here. You can see. Okay, now go back to the selection tool, which is this, and let me move my triangle down here. Let me rotate it like so. Rotate it. Okay, I want to bring out this shape. I can zoom in a little bit. Control plus. You can see that we can have a proper view. Let me just come here. Okay, then what I'll do next is that I'll just come over here, hold my left click and left click and drag, or you can hold your shift key and drag and come over here, drag it in. You can see what I'm doing. I can just move it like so. Come over here, make it smaller. Come over here, drag it in. And it's very, very simple to do. Okay, it's still small. I'll come over here, drag it in a little bit. And let's see this. Okay, we are getting there. You can use the arrow key on your keyboard. Now the next thing to do is that what I'll do now is that I will click on this sign here. You can see now I'll click on this sign. I want to make this side, I want to make it curve like this. So left click and drag it like so. You can see what I just did. It's very simple. You can see, click on that sign, left click and drag it like so. So I want to make this going a little bit more. Okay, then I'm just gonna bring this down. Okay, so let me just kind of perfect it. Okay, okay, you can see what we have now. You can see. Okay, later we're gonna take care of this. You can see. So now what I'll do next is that I want to bring this. I want to make the same. I want to do the same thing here. So what I'll do is that instead of going and doing it all, instead of doing it all over again, I can just copy and paste this. Click on this. You can come over to think edit and click on copy. You can see edit and click on paste. You see we now have it here, right? You can just come back and do it here. Now let's try to adjust it. Now we can make it bigger because this one is bigger, right? And just bend it like so. Make it like so. So you can see what we have. It's very simple to do. Very, very simple, isn't it? Yes, you can see. Very, very perfect. Okay, so you can see what we have. So now having done that, now the next thing is this, right? So to instead of going to edit and doing all of that, you can actually use your keyboard by clicking on this. Click on Ctrl C, then Ctrl C is copy, then Ctrl V to paste. You can see we have it here now, right? Just drag it and bring it. Now come over here and rotate it. Come over here, left click and rotate it like so. Then bring it down. Oh no, I'm bringing it in there. Okay, so click on it and bring it down like so, down here, so you can see what we have, right? Isn't it? Right, very, 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 very good. But seem to make a little bit adjustments. Drag this down like so, rotate a little bit, bring it down. You can use the arrow key. You can add a little bit from here. Okay, perfect. You can see what we have now. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, so now having done that, the next thing now is that I want to add color to this. So what I'll do next is that before that, let's quickly draw this one as well. This one here. So I'll be using this one. That's how we have this big one here, so that we can use this one for it. This particular one. Let's just go up a little bit. Let me zoom out a little bit. Control minus. Okay, so now I'll come back to the shape here, to this shape 2 here, right click on it and click on this polygon, double click on it. We want to change the number of sides. Now we just make use of 3, so I want to make use of I think 5 sides now. 5. Click on OK. 1 2 3 4 5, right? Okay, then let's just go back to the selection tool, which is this, and let's move this down like so. You see what we have now? Okay, so now when we get here, then you can just, while holding your shift key, double click and bring it down. Very simple. You can see Illustrator is very, very simple, sweet to use. It's very sweet to use. I love using it a lot. So now you can see what we have now. So this now is perfect. The next thing is to go for our star, right? Come back to this here, click on it, right click on it and click on the star tool. Click on star tool and just hold your shift key. Make sure you're holding your shift key to draw it, so that we can have a proper star. Left, hold your shift key, double click and type it, and drag. You can see. Okay, I think it's okay. And let's just go back to the selection tool and let's drag this down like so. Okay, still needs to be a little bit bigger. Okay, hold your shift key and adjust a little bit. Okay, let's see what we have now. Okay, I think this is very, very cool, right? This is very, very cool. Okay, having done that, now what I'll do next is that I want to, let me come back to the property panel. Okay, I'll click on this now. I want to make this black, this shape below black. So I'll just come over here, click on the fill, and just choose black color, as you can see. Okay, you can see. Okay, so now you can see this one is, the star is still there. I'll make the star white. So I'll click on the star now. I'll click on star. So I'll click on, come back to the stroke, cancel, then come back to fill and make the star white. As you can see what we have now. Okay, very, very simple. Now what I'll do next is that I'll just try to highlight the two like so. After highlighting the two, I'll come back to objects, and I'll click on group. I want to group the two together. Click on group. So after grouping the two, just now I can move the two are now one. You can see. So I can just try to, like, I can bring it here and what, and use my, let me bring it here first, and use my shift key, hold my shift key, double click and drag it and make it smaller. You can see to the size we want. Okay, we have it here now. You can drag it here and let's see whether it fits in. Okay, as you can see what we have now, that has been done, has been dealt with, right? So now the next thing to do now is to, I want to change the color of this one as well, the color of this. So I'll click on this now. I'll click on this. I'll click on this now. This part, you can see the parts. I'll click on it. Let me come back to the, let me click on this part now. You can see, let me click on this first, this particular one. So I'll come back to the fill. Let me make the stroke. Okay, let me go back to the stroke and make the stroke none. Now I'll go back to the fill. I'll make the fill black. So as you can see, okay. So having done that, black now. So now I'll come over to the other one inside, which is this particular one. Okay, to make the job easier like that, you can click on Ctrl Y so that you can see the highlight. Ctrl Y. You see what we have now. That will just kind of show us what is inside. You get. So I can now easily click on this now. So now after clicking on this, I can come over to fill now and make this fill white. I can make this white. You can see, make it white. I can cancel the stroke. I don't want stroke, none. So now if I click on Ctrl Y again, to take me back and you see what we have. You can see what we have. So we still have some things inside here, right? Which is the circle inside. Okay, let me click on Ctrl Y again so that you can see what is inside. Now let's click on this circle here. This circle here, right? So click on this circle, the stroke, the fill. Now let's make the fill white. Then I'll make the stroke none. As you can see, this is very, very interesting, isn't it? Ctrl Y, click and you can see what we have. Wow, you can see we are getting there, isn't it? Okay, so now the next thing now is this as well. I want to change the color of this as well to black. Then come over here. Let me come to the fill first. Click on the fill and click on black, right? So the stroke, I don't want a stroke for this. Just click on none. Okay, you can see what we have. Then I'll come over here as well. Click on this. I want to make this black as well. Actually, instead of going back and changing it like so, since you've clicked on it, you can use the eyedropper tool, this particular tool here. Click on it. So once you've clicked on it, you want to change the color, right? You can click on this. So it's going to automatically, it's going to change. You can see it's now black. You can see with no stroke. So now you can just click on, go back to the selection tool. Let me click on this as well. Click on the eyedropper tool, eyedropper, then click on this color here, black with no stroke. You can see it's as simple as that. Okay, so now having done that, now the next thing to do now is to, this particular one here is remaining, right? This one here. So I want to change this color. Okay, I think I'll leave it as white. Okay, but there's something I want to do now that I didn't do before, right? This particular color here also. Ctrl Y, let's see the highlighting aspect. Okay, this one here, I want to draw is I want to bring in a another shape here. Let me go back to the rectangle, to the shape tool, rectangle to start here. Let me click on the rectangle tool. Then I'll come over here, left click like so, and just drag. You can see what we have, right? So what I'll do next is that I'm just gonna move it a little bit so I can fit in properly. Okay, let me see what we have. Okay, so it's not yet done. Okay, so I'll just, okay, it's cool now. So what I'll do now is that I'll click on this. So I want to kind of bend these parts. What do I do? Click on this aspect here, left click and bevel. I can just bring this shape here first. Click, left click and bend. Back to the shape tool, back to the selection tool. Let me leave the highlighting aspects. So let me just come here. Where is it? Let me try to expand a little bit. Okay, so we can have a proper view now. Okay, so now let me just come here, click it once, left click and drag. like so. Okay, after doing that now, I can now go back to the highlighting aspect, Control Y, then bring it down like so, as you can see. So now I'll try to bring it down while holding your shift key. Bring this down like so. Let me drag it from this side while holding your shift key. Just drag it like so. So I can now bring it down. Coming. It's because I want to make this one. It's kind of okay. So the shape 2 now. Okay, left click and drag. Okay, left click, just click on this once. This side is supposed to be curved, not the other side. Okay, so now hold my shift key, drag it like so. So I can just go back to the selection tool, then move it down. Right, so I can just come here, hold my shift key, drag it, then bring it down. Okay, we are getting there. Hold my shift key, drag it, then bring it down. Okay, hold my shift key, drag it. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit so that I can have a bigger one. Okay, so you can see what we have now. Then hold my shift key, just bring it like so, drag it. Okay, so mainly sides aspects, I can actually with my shift key to drag it. Okay, so what I'll do next is that I'm going to duplicate this, Ctrl C, remember, and Ctrl V. Okay, so I can bring this down as well. Down here. Okay. I'm not getting the result I want, so let me come back again. Let me draw a new one for this. So it's even smaller. So I just come here, draw my rectangle tool, then come over here, click on it, and I'll drag in a little bit. Okay, so my shift key now, move it like so. So now let me now move it down, down here. Okay, so yeah, you can see what we have now. So let me just come over here. I want to delete this other one. I did not get the result I wanted. Let me draw this one as well. While I'm on the shape tool, you can see at times you have to be really careful with what you do. Click on this, left click and drag it down like so. Okay, while holding your shift key, adjust this properly. Okay, then go back to the selection tool. I can move this down now. Okay, so you can see what we have. So okay, so it's cool like so. So you can see what we have now. So what I'll do next is that I want to change the color the color of this too. The color of this, let me change the color of this first. So Ctrl Y now to go back to the normal look. Then I've selected this. Actually, I want to change the color of this to like, let me choose something like this. Okay, then I'll click on this as well. Let me change the color of this as well to something like this. Okay, so now having done that, now let me zoom out so you can see what we have. Okay, so the next thing now is to So what I want to do next is that let me come over here. This one now, let me try to remove it now. This one, I want to change the eyes. I don't want this particular one. Let me just bring it. Let me just put it somewhere here. I want to beautify this guy here, right? So what I'll do next is that let me just go back to the. Now we're making use of the shape builder tool here. I'll go back to the Let me go back to the ellipse tool. Okay, so hold my shift key to draw a proper circle. Okay, as you can see now, so I'll change make the stroke. I'll make the fill black. Then I'm just gonna cancel the stroke. I don't need a stroke for this, none. So as you can see, the next thing now is you can see what we have now, right? Let me just come here, Ctrl C, copy, then Ctrl V to paste. Now bring it down like so. So I'll just come over here while holding my shift key, try to make this smaller. Okay, like so. Then I can just move this down here. Just watch what I want to do. Okay, as you can see what we have now. So we have two colors here, right? So what I'll do now is I just come over here. I can actually come over here and change the color to white, like so. So you can see what we have, right? So if I should bring it here, so that means if I should do that now, I can actually match the two, or I can, instead of changing it to white, I can actually let me bring it back here. I can actually, let me just change. I can actually come over to the highlight the two, like so, this two now, then come back to the shape builder tool. After I'm in shape builder, I can just come here and hold my alt key to delete that part, click on it, delete it. So you can see what we have. Come over here, hold the alt key, delete it, delete. So you can see now, back to the move. So you can as well use the shape builder to do that. You can see how beautiful it is. So click on this. I can make this smaller, holding my shift key, click on this. I can just bring it down here. Wow, you can see what we have now. Now this guy has got an heart. Okay, isn't this beautiful? Right, you can see. So now having done that, now the next thing I'll be doing now is that let me see. Okay, things is cool. I still want you to know some things here. Okay, let's do this. Okay, the next thing to do now, or the next thing I'll be doing now is that let me just come over here, click on this particular shape here. So I'll copy and paste this, Ctrl C, then Ctrl V. You can see what we have. So watch what I want to do. I'm just gonna bring this down like so. So I'll try to bring it like so. Okay, before I do that, I want to make this. Let me delete this. Let me select these two. Click on this one first. Then I'll come over here while holding my shift key. Click on this as well. So I'm selecting these two. Then I'll click on Ctrl C to copy the two. Then Ctrl V to paste the two. As you can see, now I can move the two down here. I move the two down here like so. So watch what I want to do. Okay, so now the next thing I'll do now is that after doing that, the next thing I'll do is that I'll make sure I select. After I selected this, let me make sure I select this other one as well. Let me go back to the Ctrl Y to the highlight aspect. Come over here as well. Holding my shift key, click on this. So that means I've selected the two. Ctrl Y to go back now. Now I'll come over to the click on the shape builder tool. After selecting the two now, you see now I've selected the two. So I'll come over to the fill now. Come over to the fill. I'll choose something like, let me select this color. Now come over here. I want to change this color here. Make sure you're on the shape builder tool first. You can see. Now come over here. As you can see, just click on this. So you can see what we have. Okay. I think I did not select this part. Let me go back. It's mainly this part I want to select. Ctrl Y to highlight. I want to select this part as well. So hold your shift key to select it. So I've selected this 3. 1, 2, then 3, right? So Ctrl Y again to go back to the normal mode. Then I'll come back to the what? Click on the shape builder tool. Then come over here to the, so I'll select this color for example. Okay, then I'm just gonna come over here, click on this to change the color, then click on this to change the color. So having done that, now go back to the move tool. So I'm just gonna select this one and move it like so. Select this one, move it like so. Okay, so I think I didn't get what I wanted. Okay, let me just go back. let me just go back. Let me select these two first. Control Y. Let me Control Y. Let me just move this part first away. Move this part back. Let me merge this to 1, 2, 1. I'll select this one first. Then hold your shift key, click on this, then left, then come back to objects. Let me group these two first. After grouping these two now, as you can see now, so I can now copy these two. Let me delete this now. I'm just trying to repeat what I did. I didn't get the result I wanted. So now after grouping these two, just click on it now. As you can see, Ctrl C and Ctrl V to paste it. As you can see now, let me bring it here now. Okay, so you can see what we have here. Okay, so what I'll do next is that I'll go back to the Control Y to the highlight mode. So I want to click on this, hold my shift. Remember, I've clicked on this first one first now, so hold my shift key, click on this as well. So I've selected the two, right? Then go back to the normal mode, Control Y, then come back to the, go to the shape builder tool. I selected these two. You know, I said earlier that you have to select the two you've selected, right? Then go back to the shape builder tool. Then I'm gonna click on the color I want to use, this. Okay, so I'll come over here, select my color. I'll just select my color, click on this, select your color. As you can see. Okay, let me just go back and move this like so. And it's getting distorted, really. Move this like so. Left click, ungroup. Okay, so let me just come back here. Let me come back like so. Shape builder 2, and come back here and click on this color, and come over here, click on this color. Okay, so now I have this now, right? I have the two selected actually, so let me just deselect them first. I can now move it away. So now the next thing is to come over here now. Let me bring this down. Okay, let me bring this down like so. Okay, let me bring this down here. Okay, while holding my Alt Shift key, select this second one as well. Then the shape builder 2, select my color. I want to beautify this, that's why. I'll come over here now. Then I can now select what I want to select. Back to the move tool, deselect them, and move this like so. Deselect them first. And move this away. Okay. Okay, yeah, so you can see what I have now. So I was planning to do. Okay, so now having done that now, let me just delete this too. Let me delete this too. I want to beautify it, and I make sure now you can see it's looking more beautiful now. So what I'll do next is that let me see what I can still do to this. Let me see what I can still do to this. Let's see this, or let me just try to like, okay, it's cool like this. So the next thing I'll be doing now is that I want to paint this down part. Yes, let me paint this down part. Let me paint this down part. Okay, let me just zoom out. Okay, so what I'll do next is that I'll just come back to the shape tool here, to the rectangle tool. So let me just draw my rectangle here, like so. Okay, as you can see. Okay, now I'll come to the rectangle tool again. Let me change the color of this first. Let me change it to something like, let me see this. Okay, or let me see. Okay, I think this is cool. Then I'm go back to the, I'm still on the rectangle tool. Let me come over here. I can just kind of send this to the back. You can see this now. You can see arrange. Come back to arrange, then click on send to back. You can see it's there already. So now what I'll do next is that I'll just come back to the rectangle tool again. I'll draw my next rectangle, which is this. Okay, so as you can see now, just click on this. Let me say send to back. Okay, but before that, let me try to move this here. Let me just try to color this side. I want to give this some kind of color, right? So let me come back to the ellipse tool. Right click and click on the ellipse tool now. So let me just give it really circle. Okay, I want to make this, just come here. Let me just give this no color but a stroke. Let me give it a stroke, like a black stroke. A black stroke. Okay, so make sure you're selecting this anyway. No color, then a black stroke. Okay, so you can see what we have now. So I can just move this. Okay, so next, let me just move this properly with my arrow key. Okay, so next thing, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, copy and paste, right? Still remember, let me bring this here, hold my shift key, make it smaller, then try to adjust it properly, like so. The next one now, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, okay, bring it down here. Can make it smaller, my shift key, hold it, then double click and make it smaller, as you can see. Okay, now Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and drag it down. We are getting there. Hold my shift key. I just want to understand this very well, that's why I'm taking my time. As you can see, now I can just move this like so. Okay, I think it's cool like this. So the next thing to do now is, let me come over here now and try to like, let me bring this down a little bit first. I want to draw this small flower here. So how do I do that? Let me come and click on the arc tool. Remember the arc tool, click on it. So if yours is not on the arc tool, right click on it and make sure you click on the arc tool, and just come over here. Come over here and draw my arc. Delete. Okay, you can actually rotate it and bring it down. You can make it smaller, rotate it, then bring it down like so. Okay, the color, let me make the stroke black. Okay, as you can see what we have here, can bring it to this side. Okay, the next one now is come out to this. I'll be to the arc tool once again, then I'll draw my arc like so. Okay, then to the selection tool, let me just bring this down here. Okay, you can see what we have. So the next one now, let me just use the click on the arc tool, right click and click on the line segment. I think this one is somehow straight, right? Just click on this line segment. I want a straight perfect line here, right? As you can see. So now having done that, now let me just move this back up, right? Let me move this back like so, right? So well, okay, you can see what we have. So I can click on this now, and I want to make it white. You can see what we have now. Click on this, can make this white. So click on this, just use the eyedropper tool, then click on the white color here. As you can see, to change to white. Then click on this as well, use the eyedropper tool, then click on this color here. Now it's now white. As you can see, let's try to move this a little bit so that it fits in properly, and expand it like so. So can still expand it. Okay, let's just expand this a little bit too. Okay, so let me change the color of this. Let me just come over here and let me choose something like this for this. Okay, so I can just say this, go to the back, arrange to the back, so it goes below this, behind this. Okay, I think it's cool at the front, bring to front. Okay, so I can actually, what else should I do? Okay, I think this one here, and just bring it back here. Okay, so you can see what we just did here, right? This particular one here, I need to give it a stroke like a black stroke. Okay, so that we can have, now it's cool now. So next, now to change this background now, so do that now. Let me just go over to the shapes, to the rectangle tool. Let me just drag my background like so. Just draw this shape out. As you can see, come back to the fill, stroke, none. Then to the fill now, let me make the background something like this. Then I'll just come over here, make sure you're on the background layer, then come over here, click on arrange and send to back. As you can see what we have, you can see how beautiful this is, right? Okay, let me click on this now. Let me try to bring this, align this properly. Okay, now this one now, click on this, delete, I don't need this again. Click on this here, delete it, I don't need this again. Oh, that's the background. Control Z, let me go back, highlight, Control Y, so I can have what I'm talking about. Control Y. Okay, so you can see what we have now. You can see how beautiful this is, isn't it? Look at how beautiful this is. What we just drew, we just made. Isn't this beautiful? Right, really beautiful. Okay, thank you very much for watching. It's a pleasure. See you in the next tutorial. So next tutorial we're doing something more. We're working on some other important tools here, but I think the pen tool and the curvature tool, that's the next tutorial. Okay, see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.